Hello, YouTube divers. This is WaterDive 122, and I am back with yet another edition of Bands of the Alphabet. Last time we talked about my favorite band that starts with the letter E. This time we are going to be talking about my favorite band that starts with the letter F. And that band is. Do we need a drum roll? Probably not. I don't know. Well, we're heading back to Britain for yet another 70s British rock band. We are talking about Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac overall has been the most influential band that starts with the letter F for me. um, they have a lot of great albums, and to think about it, between 1967 and 1977, they had 11 albums. Isn't that crazy? But of course, my favorite album from Fleetwood Mac is the 1977 album Rumors. Oh man, what an album that is! Am I right? I mean, first off, it's got Songbird on it, which is really good. And then my favorite song is on this album, which is, of course, the fifth track on the album, Go Your Own Way, sung by Lindsey Buckingham, who does most of the singing for Fleetwood Mac, as far as I'm concerned. Speaking of the lineup, speaking of which, the lineup for Fleetwood Mac on this album, so you had Lindsey Buckingham on guitar and lead vocals, Stevie Nicks on backing vocals, keyboard work by Christine McVie, and bass by John McVie. Um, I'm actually not quite sure if those two are married or not, but or brother sister or cousin. I don't freaking know. Um, but let me know down in the comment section below if you so greatly desire to do so. And of course the drummer is Mick Fleetwood. So which I guess is part of why the band was named Fleetwood Mac. I'm not sure. Um, but regardless, this is a solid band, and they're obviously a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 rating. All these bands get freaking 10 out of 10. Because they wouldn't be my favorites if they weren't 10 out of 10s. So, yeah, with that said, Fleetwood Mac is my favorite letter F spot. My favorite letter F band. Alright, moving on to the honorable mentions section. So we've got two bands and a solo artist. Well, this solo artist was like old. I mean, old. I'm talking about like the 60s. And that solo artist is none other than the iconic Frank Sinatra. I thought I was going to say Frank Zappa, didn't you? But no, I'm going with Sinatra. Mainly because a lot of his hits have brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. I was listening to him when I was like in kindergarten. I know, weird. But overall, Frank Sinatra has an amazing voice. He has so many great songs. And yeah, he's probably my favorite classic 60s rock solo artist, possibly. Now the next one is of course the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl's band, right after Kurt Cobain sadly passed away, and Nirvana was done with. Um, he formed this band, and I'd say they're just as freaking good as Nirvana. Who knows? You might hear about Nirvana in a future episode. Who knows? The Foo Fighters, so much great stuff. The Color and the Shape is probably my favorite album from them. I really like the song Monkey Wrench. It may or may not be off the album, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite Foo Fighters song by far. My Hero is also really great. It's a big radio hit for them. Absolutely adore that track. And then lastly, my final honorable mention will go to the band Forbidden. I've talked about Forbidden before, if you remember from my top 100 hard rock heavy metal songs series that I did a couple months ago. One of their songs made the list, and that was the song "Through Eyes of Glass." Oh, man, from their first album, Forbidden Evil. Their first two albums are just absolutely killer. Please go check them out if you haven't already. Forbidden, such a great band, and they are probably my runner-up when it comes to how I rank these bands. But overall, Fleetwood Mac takes the title, and Frank Sinatra, Foo Fighters, and Forbidden fall just short. Well, you could say that about the latter, but the former two, Frank Sinatra and Foo Fighters, it was a pretty big gap. But Forbidden and Fleetwood Mac, it was very close, but I decided to settle on Fleetwood Mac. So yeah, Fleetwood Mac is my favorite band that starts with the letter F. And tomorrow we'll be going over my favorite band that starts with the letter G. That is going to be a fun one. So stay in tune for that. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is Water Dive 122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thank you for watching.